I know Mom. I couldn't do it. I knew Mom would be very excited to see everybody that was going to come to this. I knew that I would barely be able to talk the way that I am now. It's not too often someone. Life here comes along. We don't have enough beer yet. Who can peer into each person and pick out what makes them special and point it out to them the way that she could. And that's a rare quality that I haven't seen literally in anybody other than my mom. And not only would she point it out to you, but she would nurture if you were around her long enough, and just meeting somebody on the street, she would somehow be able to touch each person on a level that made them kind of, stumble and remark about it. And she'll never be replaced. And I miss her well. And here's an example of that in this lady named Karen Becker, who she's never met. They've only talked to each other on the phone, and they've known each other for 6 years. They met each other through an online gaming Pogo. I have no idea. Anyway, they were playing it's like online board game type stuff. And Karen says that my mom is her best friend, and she's never had someone that was so special to her. And she can't be here. She's in Texas. They never met. So she wanted me to read this. And I haven't read this yet, so I hope I can get through it. It says, I've known Cheryl for 6 years. Although we never met in person, but we always said we both felt like we knew each other our whole lives. We talked about God bringing us together on the internet. I met Cheryl playing cards on Pogo, a game set. Played with her one night, and the next night I called her and we talked for 4 hours. From that day forward, we talked every night. I bet in 6 years we may have missed 15 times not talking. From May, when she found out she was sick, I called her twice a day. Once to check on her, and once to say goodnight. I did this up until 2 days before she died. She was raised in Nebraska, and I was raised in Iowa. She moved to California. When I moved 10 years ago to Texas, as she called it, Texas. She may have been from Nebraska, and I lived in California, but she had a heart as big as Texas. She helped me so much when I had problems, whether they were good or bad. She helped me when my niece died. She was there for me. What a friend. I never thought I never thought she would be gone a year later. I miss my friend, and will always remember her, Karen. So, I mean, what more can I say? I guess probably not much more. Thanks, guys, for being here. I love you.
I was stepping down about my mom came from my art, but I can't read out myself. So my friend Dustin here, my best buddy, he's gonna read this out for you guys because I'm gonna choke, you know. I can't do it. So.
There goes. Sometimes the world will try to knock me out of anything I've always believed in. I've always believed in love, giving, and caring. That's the way my mom taught me, and that's the way I've been raised by her. I've seen how much she has given her love to anyone she met, and I became a part of that. I've always loved my mom's soul and passion. I, or anyone knows her, couldn't ask for anything more from all the love what she has given. She has more than just a big heart. She was a gift from God, and I thank God she's my mother. She continues to be my mother in spirit, as I can still feel her today and forever. I know she will be on Clint and my side every day in spirit to be sure we're standing strong as she told me. We have a family to continue and look up to raising well. I wanted to thank my brother Clint for standing strong and working his best to fight for our mother to beat her sickness. He really fought hard to stay up for days, went through the website to find some cure. He did a great job as some cancer went away until it spread into her bone, as he still never gave up. And I am so grateful for that. Clint, I wanted to say I love you and thank you. Mom said to me there was nothing more she could ask from both of us, but seeing so much caring and love, it made her the happiest woman, and said I couldn't ask for two better sons. I wanted to say thank you to Penny, who I truly love. She put up so much help and love through giving up her schooling and so much more to support my mom's side and help her feel comfortable at home. She did so much more than my mom or I could ask for. I also wanted to thank my two beautiful girls, Anne-Marie and Donna, for helping and giving their love and helping my mom as well. Also, Grandma was more than grateful for that. Skylar, Christian, you both also have been a great help, and she loved your humors. She can see you both going to be such gentlemen. She begs for you all four to stay who you are and stay strong. Anyways, there's so much stories that we talk about when I was growing up, but here's my favorite one that my mom told me. When I started to learn how to crawl, I learned to get curious about a lot of things. And as I learned how to crawl faster, my mom noticed I wasn't around her, so she started to look for me, as she was worried. Looking and looking for me, and found me in the laundry room, and she screamed, "No, Matthew!" I found the little box with a turd in my hand, and a piece of it in my mouth, and chewing on it with an ugly look on my face. She threw herself on her knees and knocked the turd out of my hand, and and struck her finger in my mouth trying to get the tooth along the tooth. Cat litter out of my mouth. I laughed so hard and told Mom, no wonder I don't like the candy on the rock. I wanted to say to everyone here, thank you all for being here and showing the love and support.
I mean, that's about as formal as it gets. If anybody else wants to say anything, please.
I have one more thing to I'm her niece, Melanie, and a few days after she died, my husband told me my voicemail was full. And as I was going through the messages, 2 of them were from my aunt. When I heard her voice, I couldn't breathe. And all at the same time, I felt so many emotions. I was so happy that I had her voice to listen to anytime I wanted. And then I was angry because that's all I have now. And so I tried to think of her as many people think of ones who have died before us. They're in a better place. So I thought about this. And I thought, where is that place? Better than here, with all of the people she loved, and all of the animals she loved. I can't think of a better place. And then I thought, well, many people say she's in heaven. And I thought, I imagined her in heaven, looking at us, thinking, I can't be with them. I can only look at them. And that made me angry because I know that would never, ever be good enough for my Aunt Cheryl to just look at us. So when I remember her, I will remember her asleep in death. Because I know of a promise made centuries ago to bring back all the people we love who died before us. And when I think of that, for me, it is easier for us to wait for the people that we love to come back to life than it is for the people who loved us to wait for us to die. So I know that because of that promise that God made to bring back everyone, that I will see her again. I know this in my heart. And I will try while I wait for her and listen to her voice on my phone. But most important, I will keep her memory alive by trying to love as deeply and as wholeheartedly as she did. She had an innocent love for all things and all people. Anyone who showed any amount of humanity got all of her love. And it was limitless. She had more than one person could even handle having. And she gave it freely. And as we remember her, I think that's the way we should remember her, is doing our best to love each other the way my aunt's example of love and how she displayed it. Thank you.
tell her things that I'm thinking about and see what she thinks about them and to ask her questions if we need to know about things. And I really miss her.
I wanted to speak for my daughter, Donna. I wanted to write a tribute to my grandmother during my college years. I want to begin. I'd like to send my apologies that I couldn't be here to honor her with my presence. I wish I could have been here for her. I don't think any one of us expected that we couldn't stop, and I stop and ask expected this. I stop and ask myself about Grandma and how much I'm grieving. The Grandma was full of life, and she had all the good things. She had love that she had to give up to the very end. It's up to Anne-Marie and I don't think that I would be able to be in college if it wasn't for her support. And how she welcomed my mom and I into the family very early on into my life. And it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. And she taught me a great deal about life. After my other grandmother passed away, and I remember a conversation between my grandmother and I. And the last thing that she said to me was she said to just keep being who you are with your big heart. And it just made me cry. I couldn't help feeling guilty that I couldn't be there for her when she was very sick and towards the end, and when she was in pain and close to the end. I know that right now she's probably reading a book with her parents and her family, and I know that she'd be doing everything that she would have been doing now. Sorry, I missed that. She'd be dancing on the moonbeam with a big smile and a shine. And she'd, okay, sorry, I'm going to do the last part here. You know what, let me just read the last part because the interpreter messed up. Knowing my grandma Cheryl, she would not have wanted to see us cry on this day and to cherish our times with her. And that's what I'm going to do for today. I love you, Grandma. Like, you all know that Matt and Cheryl Cheryl was like a second mom to us. We'd always come here, sit down, hang out here, have a good time, play cards, and she would join us while we played cards here. You know, growing up, I came here with Matt, you know, and in the morning, I just have memories of sitting there while she was reading her newspaper and talking to her and reading her newspaper with her. I remember that well. You know, I'm sure she's in a better place now, looking down on us and seeing, you know, that we're going to be here and continue living on. Tell her about Mom's belief in how fast you read. Remember, she said, no, there's no way you're reading that newspaper fast when you'd grab it from her. Right, I'd grab the newspaper and look at it and pass it back. And she never believed that I could read that fast. But I told her what I just read. She was astounded.
Anyone else? Okay.
For those of you that know me, my name's Claire. I've been in this country about 20 years and was very fortunate to meet Cheryl and her family, Matt, who's with him, and his bigger brother, which was after his twin. And again, I'm echoing what Clint and everyone else is saying, how she opened her heart. Matt went home and said, I met this crazy English woman. I don't know if I should go back there. I had a knock at the door, and he opened the door with Sammy, one of Sammy's still here, and asked if I would like the numbers painted on the sidewalk, and I didn't know what he was talking about because we don't do that in England. So he showed me, and he said, it's $10. So, okay, so, but if you don't like it, it's $5. if you really don't like it, it's free. So I went, and he did a fantastic job, and I'm glad to say, 20 years later, we haven't looked back. And his son Skylar was painting my numbers at 14 years old just a few months ago. The exploitation of the children go on.
So was it $10?
Yeah, $10. Yeah, every time I said, you know, my brother's kids have just moved out, and his room decorated as they've destroyed it, and they said, we'll be here after school, 3:30 with our paint. And my stepson said, no, you probably won't see them again. I said, no. Immediately, Matt must have had, again, what he talked about his mother, that honesty, that really not messing around with people, and being true and honest and reliable, all these values that Cheryl held. And he was there, 3:30, on the dot, and did a fantastic job. And as I said, I'm glad to say that, you know, we've all been friends ever since, and I know that Cheryl lives on in these wonderful boys and in all of us, that I can see some faces I haven't seen for a lot of years, and she's brought us all together again, and I really do feel her here, and of course we're going to miss her, but my promise, Cheryl, to you is I thank you for everything you've done for me and my family and the boys.
Okay. I think we still have a couple of drinks left. What chance of starting?
It's empty now, but it's still on the side of my bed, so every time I go to sleep, I set it down so I can have good dreams about it. It makes me happy, but I still do it when I listen to it.
relationship with someone else. We were living together. And Matt, you know, he would always ask me to come over. We'd get together a lot. I mean, it seemed like it was almost every day. One night, I will never forget, and thank you for this, thank you. One night, I was in a bad situation, and I needed help, and Matt helped me change the lock on my door at my apartment.
I don't want to go by
I'll wait for Matt. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'll wait for you to finish. So Matt helped me change the locks on my door to protect me from my awful ex. And when I came here, every time I would come here, to be honest, his mom was the highlight. When I came here, I so much enjoyed being with her. And she told me, when I came here one day, she stood there like this, and she said, "You tell that guy to get the hell out." And I said, "Yes, you're right, you're right." And when he finished, that's when he helped me finish the locks on my, change the locks on my door. So it was just so funny, her stance and what she said. You know, just the way she was and her expression, how she signed everything. It's just difficult to explain how she was. You know, and she won't be replaced, like you've all mentioned. She can't be replaced. And I'll miss her so much. That's it. To live together, I mean, she'll live forever. You know, people look at your life and what they've done, and I know that Matt's mom was here for a short time. I knew her for a short time, but I really formed a relationship with her. And I grew up with two brothers too, so I can relate seeing you two and how awesome you've been. You know, being brothers, just and having an amazing mom. You know, and she was empathetic with people, she loved people. Even though I knew her briefly, I was very impacted by her and I loved her, and I know she loved you and everyone here. So I want to thank you for and respect her and honor her and celebrate her life.
All right. I think we still have a few snacks and some drinks left, so please, everybody enjoy.